Hello YouTube, my name is Rashia and this is my very first vlog. You may hear my daughter in the background. She's sleeping, but she grunts a lot in her sleep and makes all type of noise. She grunts, she laughs in her sleep, she cries in her sleep. So imagine that in the middle of the night, you think she's getting up and she's really sleeping. So anywho, this is my very first vlog. I'm very excited about it. I plan to make many more. I'm going to talk about my life. I'm going to talk about PCOS and endometriosis. I suffer from both of them. I'm going to talk about my fertility issues, some of everything. And also, I was looking up the benefits of breast milk. I had a glass of wine, and so I was going to pump and dump. And I looked it up. It said that, I think it said like 4 to 6 hours after your first drink. Well, really it says that if you're okay to drive, then you're okay to still breastfeed. But I didn't really want to risk that, even though it was a small amount of alcohol. So I was just going to pump and dump for a couple hours. But then after reading a couple of documents about it, it's like never pump and dump. You can always use your breast milk for something else. So I don't know if you can tell, but my face has kind of started breaking out a little, and that was one of the things that I saw that breast milk is good for. So I just started today putting breast milk on my face to see if it clears up. So maybe you guys can watch the transition with me and see, you know, if it really works. But this video today is more so going to be focused on these little jewels here. My placenta pills. A lot of people think it's nasty, but I don't really care. That's my placenta. Came out of my body. I was very excited to try this. It came from Placenta Services of Savannah. It was $200, and it came with this jar that I showed you, as well as it was like 3 lactation cookies in there, and she also gave me an umbilical cord keepsake, which was basically my daughter's umbilical cord, and it was made into a heart, which was pretty cute and cool. But I was more so concerned about the pills and how that process worked. I basically just searched for people who do placenta encapsulation in Savannah, and just researched them and everything. So this lady seemed like the best person, and she came and picked it up from the hospital. I'll talk more about my birth story and how that went. I got induced on Friday morning and had my daughter Sunday, but when I was telling the nurses and everything when I first went in that I was going to have my placenta, keep my placenta, they were like, okay, it's no problem. You know, whenever you give birth, just let the nurses at that time know and let your doctor know. And when it was time for me to deliver my placenta, after that was done, I told the doctor, hey, I'm keeping my placenta. And everyone's attitude changed. They were like, get it out of here. You can't keep it in here. So I had to send my sister to CVS at 3 o'clock in the morning to go get a cooler. And they were like just trying to tell me to hurry up and get it out of the hospital and all this stuff like that. But anyway, that was fine. I was still able to get it done. She came and picked it up from the hospital, and she brought it back 2 days later. It's supposed to help with many things, such as postpartum recovery, which I feel like it definitely helped me with. The only thing about it is I don't really have anything to compare it to, because this is my first child, the first child that I delivered. So I don't know, you know, how my body reacts to birth and everything, but I feel like my postpartum recovery was wonderful. I didn't have a lot of pain. I did have some pelvic pain. Kind of felt like a brick was sitting on it, but that was like just once every couple of days, just randomly. But as far as, you know, like bleeding, postpartum bleeding, I didn't bleed a lot. I'm no longer bleeding. I'm 3 weeks postpartum, but when I was bleeding, it was super light. Didn't pass blood clots or anything like that. I think I passed one. That was it. It's supposed to help with postpartum depression, which I feel like I said, I don't have anything to compare it to, but I was really concerned about postpartum depression. That was actually my #1 reason for getting these pills, to prevent that. Because while I was pregnant and even before pregnancy, I suffered with depression. So I really felt like that was something that I was just very concerned about. I didn't want to go through postpartum depression. I saw how people say, you know, they feel, you know, about their kids and they just feel all type of ways. I didn't want to feel that way. So that was really my #1 reason for wanting to get these. And I didn't have any postpartum depression. I will say that for a couple of days I stopped taking the pills because just life, my daughter being up a lot, me being tired, just kind of forget to take them. And like a couple of days later, I just was feeling sad. I was crying all day and just waking up crying. It was weird. And so I'm like, where is this coming from? And then I realized that I hadn't taken the pills. Could be a coincidence. I don't know. But I started taking them again after that, and I felt fine. Still feel fine. And as you can see, I have a bit more left. Not many, but so I definitely want to revisit this in a short video to see how I'm feeling after they're gone and I'm no longer taking the pills, how I'm feeling just in every way. And it's also supposed to give you energy. I certainly had a lot of energy. I still have a lot of energy. There were certainly days where I just felt exhausted. But I think that just kind of comes along with the territory, regardless of what you're taking, regardless of how you're eating, what you're doing. Like, I just felt exhausted some days. But for the most part, I have a lot of energy. I just feel pretty good. You know, like within a week of having my daughter, I feel like I could have done anything. I just felt fine. So that was that. But I think it was a wonderful investment. Definitely a wonderful $200 investment. Definitely worth it. I would certainly recommend it to anybody, you know. And so that's pretty much that. My milk production was wonderful. Leaking a lot all the time. And again, I don't know how it would have been before if I hadn't taken them, because I have nothing to compare it to. So I can only tell you guys, you know, how it worked for me. And I would say it's certainly a winner. Certainly worth it. I mean, it's only $200. So in the grand scheme of things, hey, it's certainly worth just trying. Even if it doesn't work, at least you can say you tried it versus not trying it and having bad, you know, results from not taking it. So on this page, I'm going to talk about just my life, you know, my fertility issues and things like that. And just kind of be an open book. So please like and please subscribe. Comment if you have any questions. I will certainly respond, and you'll be seeing a lot more of Rashia.